Well, that got long and kind of heavy, so let's go ahead and turn things down a notch and talk about Warframe content, because where the fuck has the Warframe content been for this channel, as there are probably over 100 of you who actually are wondering that, and maybe even more, hopefully. The long and the short of it is that I've been super busy, basically. I started picking up full-time hours for about maybe 4 of the last 5 weeks, or 3 out of the last 4 weeks, and then this next week will be full-time as well. I'm starting to grab footage out of the game, and it's basically, I'm starting to get footage ready. I did say that I want at least a couple weeks of content ready before I start. Now I'm planning to make it 3 or 4 weeks of content ready in advance, because basically the 88th can be recorded in advance. However, Save the Frame is more of a thing on the fly, I realized, where basically, like, I can talk about Kuva farming 1 week, or I could have a show prepped for Kuva farming weeks in advance. And then, as I'm about to post it, they have an update to Kuva, where you have more than just one way now to get Kuva, because that's one I really wanted to talk about, is Warframe's a game where you even Scott of DE has said Warframe's, there's never really one way to do anything. It's just like, well, if you want this, you can actually do it multiple ways. If you want arcanes, you don't just have to go do Law of Retribution. You can go to the Jordis, you can also trade them. There are ways to basically get everything, but Kuva, this valuable resource, this new resource for the game, there is only one way pretty much to get it. So that's one I've really been wanting to talk about for like the past half year. But yeah, the unfortunate truth is that this is and continues to be a hobby. I want it to be more, I truly do, but life beckons. As I talk about on Great Scott Marcus, I'm turning 30, and I gotta get my shit together, because I've been on my ass for the last 4.5 years, for those who don't know, because of health issues. And yeah, so I've got a lot of catching up to do. I'm trying to do that while also trying to maintain this channel, because I love this channel, I love this as a hobby, and these things take time, unfortunately, and I feel like this, especially the Warframe content, deserves diligence and thoroughness, and not kind of half-assing it. And also, as I've said, Warframe isn't a game that I think really any game really isn't a game that anyone should just be playing constantly. Dota, League, Warframe, WoW, give me some other ones, come on. Overwatch, you get the point. Diablo, you get the point. And so I did for about November, December, and January, and a bit of February, kind of start getting out of Warframe, played a bunch of other games, and now I'm back into it. I've been back into it for about the past 2 months, and yeah, I've been grabbing footage, but it's just lacking time, lacking energy, and just trying to get back into life too. And these things happen, and I do appreciate those who have chose to stay subscribed for the Warframe content. I can provide that middle of the road, where we don't have to be experts, we don't have to be the best min-maxers to enjoy our gameplay, which Warframe really allows for, unlike some other games, Division, Destiny, what? And so with all of that, I do want to say, I'm not going to do what I did at the end of Season 1. I'm not going to say, I'm going to be back in March or April, because that was dumb. I'm obviously not. It's May, and I'm not back yet. Basically, my plan is I'm going to have about 4 to 5 weeks of content done in advance, and you can. This is what I can say. You can basically expect about 30 episodes of the 88th Armory, And if I do a State of the Frame every other week, sometimes I double down on that. Then that's, let's see, 30 divided by 7. That should be 5 weeks of save. No, that sounds small. Maybe more. We'll see. But basically, 30 episodes dispersed across. No, because that would... Okay, here's what went wrong. I was thinking 5 episodes per week. I don't know why I was thinking that. That would be 15 weeks. That sounds a lot better. 15 weeks or more of 88th Armory content, basically 2 to 3 episodes per week. Maybe more. Maybe we'll go into the 40s. Basically, it'll be a big Season 2 instead of 2 seasons as I had planned for this year. And then there will be a State of the Frame for every other week, basically, where I'm talking about things that the game could use, things that the game is doing well, things that we want iterated within the game, or that I do, and that people seem to respond to. And God, I hope the focus system, the new focus system, is awesome. They were kind of hinting at that, about that at or coming up for TennoCon, I feel like, in 92. There was like a brief comment on it. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna do all that, and no new Warframe shows, no new video games coming out for the channel. I kind of rebooted 0 frames per second, but at the same time, doesn't really feel like there's much going on within the gaming industry, at least. There's stuff going on PC, but it to me feels a bit small. Like, if you look at the things Jim Sterling is doing, that stuff seems a bit small, and I don't really like throwing my head in with that. I think that those who are covering that stuff, they're doing just fine talking about it in their own way. Not really my thing. I chose to talk about the kind of funny situation because, obviously, big fan. So, you know, that made sense at the time, but then nothing's really come up that seems like it's needed talked about. So, beyond that, yeah, Warframe content will continue to be a staple of this channel. I wanted to find another game or games where they could be persistent, like Warframe is, where I could feel like I could toss my own 2 cents in with them. And they could be persistent, and I could, you know, kind of continue to talk about them. That didn't happen. It was kind of a weird season for gaming for me, where a lot of games I played were really depressing. Especially Nier. I know it's getting a lot of spotlight, and it deserves it, but, like, god damn. I felt like I curled up in a rescue blanket for, like, 3 days after I got all of the endings for that game. Like, holy shit, depressing. And I'm not really looking for that right now. So, fun, but depressing, and so I just kind of continue to look for those gems. And I've also come up with another series for the channel that could kind of highlight these gems that I'm not persistent with, but unfortunately time has been a constraint, and so that series is not ready yet. Maybe this year, maybe not. We'll see how things progress. And of course, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start highlighting the new quests that are coming out with the new frames. So, like, Octavia got a quest with her. Nidus got a quest with him. I played the Nidus quest on PC. For those who don't know, I'm primarily a PS4 player, which means we get our content after PC players get their content. And the Nidus quest, to me, was great, but not really as impressive as a War Within or a Second Dream. So I didn't see the point in really posting that to the channel. But then the Octavia quest, which I went kind of radio silent on, that was pretty fucking good. So I'm thinking with the Priest frame, probably going to get that up on the channel as soon as possible. Hopefully the night of. We'll see what kind of progression I feel like I need to make on my PC account to do that, but I think, yeah, there can be an expectation for this channel, much like the War Within, where I was fairly certain the first to post that content will be the first to start posting a lot of this content. for quests, because I really love the lore of this game, and continue to love it, and am inspired by it, and want to comment on it to you guys. And yeah, the feedback seems to continue to be positive, so I'm going to continue to respond in kind. Anyway, so with all of that in mind, let's go ahead and look forward to some Warframe content this year. Sorry for the delay. You guys keep up the grind.